Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Chat, I wanted to take a quick look at Wayfinder. This is a new Digital Extremes published game. They are not creating it, but it is being created by Airship Syndicate, who created the 50, is it first or 52nd? Either way. They created Varuna, the 50, I think, first Warframe. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, they did create Varuna, so this is like a collaboration with publisher and developers of different games. So Wayfinder, let's take a look at it. It's a new action RPG MMO light, kind of like, you know, Warframe, kind of like Destiny. It looks like it has its main hub town area, and then you go off into your like areas to fight enemies, and yeah, it looks more like Destiny in that sense, but we'll have to take a look. Yep, Joe Mad, the artist for Varuna, was pretty hype. Would recommend. Okay, right? Oh, look at Wayfinder. It looks hype. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Wayfinder.
Alex Campbell,
a character-based online role-playing game for you.
So this is like clearly the main hub city, and it looks like you can have a ton of people in there. Nothing we haven't seen before, pretty regular. This will be where I assume all the shops where you can buy Wayfinders, weapons, armor, pretty normal stuff. By the way, there are some content creators that got like a hands-on first look in the beta and have videos on that have some more gameplay and stuff, so feel free to check them out. I believe I saw a Tactical Potatoes video, so that gave me a lot of insight into the game. As we know, it'll have a open beta in about 2-3 months, something along the lines of that. So when there is an open beta, expect videos from me more so. But for now, I'm just keeping up on it casually, so we'll continue taking a look at the trailer here.
You and your friends.
Right? Looks cute,
it's
magical.
All set in Evanor, a gorgeous world that has fallen to an ancient and mysterious force known as the Gloom.
So yeah, big bad guy is the Gloom. You are fighting the Gloom. And it's like a open worldy type MMO. Oh, I don't know if it's MMO technically, so let's just call it. It's a somewhat open world or transitioned off areas, right? You like probably phase in, phase out. So it's MMO light. But it looks pretty cool fighting the enemy, the Gloom.
It's up to you to push back against
Mystery
the hostile
enemy
calamity that twists and corrupts everything it touches. You'll control.
So it's like the Gloom, the Plague, call it whatever you will. It's kind of in that sense of just generic enemy Plague.
The chaos as Wayfinders. Powerful.
Oh yeah, you play as the Wayfinders. They're like the heroes classes.
Full and diverse characters who are echoes of fallen heroes.
If you go on their website, right now they have 5 Wayfinders that you can look at, and I believe a 6th one that they haven't shown yet. So it looks pretty cool so far, but it's still early on development. It's releasing this year in 2023, closer to end of 2023.
After a cataclysmic event, they have been reborn of the Gloom, allowing you to shape both your Wayfinder's playstyle as well as their look.
See, it does have character customization, much like Warframe. Oh, look at that. Terrifying. I like the transition, though. But yeah, it does have more like armor character customization like you'd see in, you know, most games. So that's at least good. Obviously not to the level of Warframe where it like literally changes your character model, like your deck skins, right? Skins and helmets in Warframe change it a ton. But yeah, still cool that it does have changing armor and
this
cosmetics.
Is the Highlands, one of our large open world areas.
Also, barbarian chick with big sword looks hype. Can we just talk about that? Big sword go swoosh. Ah, big axe go swoosh. Okay. Highlands, yes. It looks pretty, right? Looks nice.
Large open world areas. Here, you'll pick.
Okay, they confirmed it. Large open world areas. So, yeah, it is kind of like an open world MMO then. Even though in the description, I'm being very specific because they call it an upcoming free-to-play online multiplayer action RPG. It is free-to-play, of course. There's no way they'd be like silly enough to sell this as a game. You just can't sell live service MMOs like this unless you have a pre-existing audience. I think the only reason it works with Destiny is because like Bungie had so much Halo hype behind it, and people trusted them to be able to make a game, and it worked, right? But it's so hard to do live service MMOs these days, as most have just failed or died off unless they're free to play. So this makes sense. I should probably also mention this game is going to take a lot of like inspiration from Warframe, so I believe you'll be able to farm all weapons and Wayfinders in the game free to play fully. We'll have to fully wait until the breadth of that comes out later on though, but it seems like it's going to be very free to play friendly in that regard.
Quests, find world bosses, participate in public events, and more.
Public
Also
events
meet
like
with
you'd see in
friends old and
Destiny,
new
fair
while
enough.
you're on your adventures.
Understandable.
Public events are always more manageable with some help from other players. Each Wayfinder
Right, so it's like, it's a pretty understandable open world looking action RPG type MMO, even if they don't want to call it an MMO. It takes from a lot of games, so it's maybe nothing that we haven't seen or nothing super unique, but Wayfinder is at least like definitely trying, and they do have a ton of customization, so I'm happy about that. But wait another 3 months for the open, I think open beta.
Finder comes with
Then I'll
its own
stream the
set
hell out of
unique
it.
moves and talents.
All right.
It's up to you to make.
If you haven't noticed down here, it looks like the Wayfinders have 4 abilities, and that's their like
You're a
auto
Wayfinder?
attack, I believe. It's kind of hard to tell. And then they have potions. If I take away my face cam, you can see the potions level. That's their like backpack. So they have like multiple potions. So yeah, that's, I'd say, good thing, good thing. Then you have increased damage. The higher your hit combo probably caps out at like 150, 200%, probably 200%, like most crit type things do.
Your own.
130,
Wayfinders
yeah.
like Senja lead the charge by pummeling enemies.
Yep, okay, that is your like 4 abilities. They were on the like 4 sticks of
With
L1
their
or
up-close and
joypad.
personal attacks. Each Wayfinder can play a major
Okay,
role
this
in
is boss
experimenting
HP.
with different strategies and party compositions.
To my knowledge, this game does have a ton of customization, modding weapons, the Wayfinder. You have dungeon modifiers, I think. There's just a lot.
After exploring
Okay,
the Highlands
there's
and
just
adding a
a
few
lot.
notches under our belt, it's time to head to our
not
social
bad, not
hub,
bad.
Skylight.
So yeah, it's a very like, it's Genshin Impact. If it was different style and more open world, maybe. But yeah, it looks like more of an open world
Skylight
Destiny
serves as your main hub
RPG
for taking
MMO.
on quests, turning loot into weapons, as well as other Wayfinders. Both
Right, social hub. You've seen it before. Warframe has it. Destiny has it. All MMOs have it.
of which will be continuously added over time.
Calling
In
it
addition-
Genshin-y, understandable. I'm still calling it visually, and it 100% looks like it plays like a mixture of Dauntless and I want to say Wildstar. It just looks like straight Dauntless to me. If you've seen Dauntless gameplay and Dauntless customization, it looks like Dauntless to like a 1-to-1 degree almost. Except Dauntless is more of a monster hunter bossing type game. And it's a smaller game, but come on. If we compare that to Dauntless, it looks like pretty much graphically, it looks better than Dauntless. I will give it that, but it looks so much like Dauntless to me. And once they actually get into combat, you see the gameplay and the combat. They have like their 4 things there. And I think you have the same amount of abilities in Dauntless. It just, I'm reminiscing and throwing it as a Dauntless-like game until it comes out. So I don't know. People might get mad at that, but comparison is kind of what you have to do with games. So you get a general baseline, but it does look fun and interesting. So I'm excited.
Into unlocking Wayfinders, you can also create unique
Right, look at that. There's your customization, your upgrading for your weapons. I want to look back at all of the Wayfinders, right? You see all of their, I assume these are like the 4 attacks and your regular attack. Ravage, Rake, deal high damage to enemies directly in front of you. I assume this is your auto attack and these are your 4 abilities. As well as I would assume everyone has kind of a passive. Oh yeah, there it is. Dish out massive damage with his spells. While more frail, he is able to generate a magic barrier to absorb hits while he gets in close to destroys foes. Okay, okay. I assume they have passives,
unique
but
combinations of abilities and weapons. Kairos excels in dealing damage.
Oh, edgy boy, all for it. Oh, looks like he has abilities locked here. He's only level 3. You can't see it behind me, so that's fair enough. Oh no, that wasn't ability. Maybe he has 5 abilities. Okay, maybe I have some more abilities. Cool.
Equipping him with the rifle makes him a powerful addition to a party from a distance.
Oh yeah, no, they don't have to like, he doesn't have to use his edgy boy scythe. Man could just straight on pull out the gat and just pa pa pa. So I mean, that's fair enough. It looks like through this trailer you get the general look of the game 100% though, because they're showing off like most of it.
Gloom Gate serves as a portal into dungeons called Lost Zones.
Okay, so dungeons called Lost Zones. So they're like, no, they're dungeons, guys, but we call them Lost Zones. Every game has to have their own versions of dungeons, funny enough, but yeah. So they have dungeons where you just straight up can enter in from the town, right? Fair enough. And you can put on modifiers.
These ever-shifting
looks like 4
dungeons are
abilities,
first
1
discovered
ult.
out in the
Yeah,
wilds
fair
of
enough.
Evanor. But as a Wayfinder, you can access and manipulate them with your Gloom.
Okay, so we have difficulty, we have the area, and then we have imbuements, aka modifiers, okay? Mutators, which are also a modifier. Under sweltering heat, enemies cause you to burn. Beware the heat wave that comes and goes and strengthen your foes.
Zones can be
And then they put on that one, which was eruption, mutator eruption. Toxic vents periodically erupt from the ground, damaging nearby players. So dungeon modifiers, we've seen this before in many ARPGs like Diablo and Path of Exile. Those games, I would say, are the biggest of map dungeon modifiers, RNG, and just randomizers, in my opinion, right?
Shaped and modified by
But
you.
that's what I would
Mutators
kinda
allow you to control
remind
the
me
chaos in exchange for.
But the combat does look pretty interesting, right? It looks
Wayfinder.
like an RPG. It is slower paced, not like you're getting Warframe speed combat out of this. It's not gonna be the Warframe killer, unless it is gonna be the Warframe killer. Maybe I'll make a video memeing about that. Who knows? But it does seem interesting. You got your abilities and your passive. Maybe that's your passive. That like your auto attack like activates your passive. I don't know. It's hard to tell technically.
Environmental effects and other challenging
environmental
conditions.
effects. Looks like a cool big
Challenging
boss
in-game
though.
conditions.
Just falling down. I'm all for trying out the game when it's out.
We can't wait.
Yeah, this is like your passive, I think. R1.
Wayfinder later this
Or like,
year.
yeah.
For a chance to play the game
Might be
early,
a mixture of your
now.
auto attack with your
Thanks for
passive to
watching.
be actually. I think that's kind of how that works. So that is Wayfinder Digital Extremes published, right? Published. So Warframe creators are publishing it, and Airship Syndicate is the creators. I believe it's going to come on all platforms, right? Even like Xbox, but they just maybe didn't confirm on release Xbox. But Steam and PlayStation, it looks like, is confirmed on release. Let's look at their actual website, Play Wayfinder, quickly, to get a quick look at the actual characters. So we can just go to Wayfinders here, and you can see, like I said before, there's just straight up 5 Wayfinders. Wingrave, Silo, Nis, Senya, Kairos. We'll look at Senya because big buff lady with sword go burr, step on me, dommy, mommy. And so, complexity. So they give you a little breakdown. She's clearly defensive, mixture of everything, but mainly defense and little attack. So they have abilities. They do have 4 abilities. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is the passive. Okay. As well as you have a weapon ability. Okay, interesting. So you have like a passive, a weapon ability, and then your 4 regular abilities. We're not going over everything. They have their signature weapon, which is probably like their best weapon and or like their style of weapon, even though you can swap it out for other weapons if you so choose, which is at least nice. They have a backstory if you want to look at that. And you can just take a look at all of the abilities here. And if you really want, you can right click, show controls, or probably open video in new tab. Ooh, look at that. You can download it and everything. Life hack if you use the internet, of course. So, good times, good times. Looks like that is Wayfinder. I just wanted to make a little video to see what everyone thinks about it. I will probably stream it and make another handful of videos. Pure offensive, edgy boy with a scythe, all for it. And as you can see, his signature weapon is the scythe, but they equipped a gun on him, so yep. That's Wayfinder. Let me know what you think. Sub to the YouTube and all the other social medias. Like and yeah, check everything out if you want to support the channel. Thank you.